Up next on my project list is the boys' room. I have been wanting to do their room for a while, but we've had so much going on, so I haven't had time. But this is what their room currently looks like. There's absolutely nothing in here except for the bunk bed. James did put the bunk bed together about, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. They were sleeping on mattresses on the floor. So it's nice that they finally have a bed, but there's the bunk bed. And we are going to make the room a lumberjack themed room. I saw the buffalo plaid fabric at Joann's actually probably 3 or 4 years ago and just fell in love with this. And it was when I was pregnant with Levi, and I thought, well, when we eventually get our forever home, I want their room to be lumberjack themed just because I think that's so cute and it's something they won't outgrow really fast. So I actually made these quilts a couple of years ago. So I made 2 of them. There's one on the bed, and then I pulled Eli's down so that I could show it to you guys because I really like how they turned out. It's simple, but they're just really cute. I just got a bunch of different deer themed fabric and reds and blacks and grays and just pieced it all together and obviously turned it into the quilt. I love some of them. Some of those fabrics are so cute. But anyway, so here is the room, and what I'm going to do today is paint it. I bought a natural gray. I'm sorry, not a natural gray. I bought a natural green paint. It's called Living Naturally. I got it from Lowe's. There it is. So we're going to start trimming all the walls today, and then I'll probably start rolling later on this week. Okay, so I'm back here at the house, and for whatever reason, this paint color in the video looks like a poopy brown, but I promise it's like a natural, like hunter green, as I call it. Trim work is finished, so I'm gonna go cook dinner, and then I'll come back and I'll roll everything, and we'll get the first coat on it. Okay, all of the first coat is done. And actually, I could probably get away with only doing 1 coat, but I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 because I have another gallon of paint and I want it to look really good. It's hard to see because the sun is going down now, but I really like the color. It's just a nice, natural, like medium tone green. And I just really like it. It's very woodsy, and I feel like it will look really good with the blankets and all the decorations that I'm gonna put in here to fit the lumberjack theme. So today for the boys' room, I'm gonna paint this shelf. It's just a little shelf that I made out of some repurposed wood. At the old house, it was in their room. It's painted blue, and so I'm gonna paint it white now so I can use it to put on the wall in their current room. So coat number 1 is done. It definitely is gonna need a second coat. This is actually the front of it. So I'll put a second coat on it later, and then we'll be ready to hang it. I still gotta paint the underneath sides too, but I can't flip it over and paint it when it's wet. So when it's dry, I'll flip it over and paint those underneath sides. All right, and this is the shelf after 4 coats. Actually, no, I think it's only 3 coats of white paint. So it turned out nice. So I'll be able to hang that probably above the dresser in the boys' room and put little knickknacks and books and things on it. So next I've got this chair that I got at an antique store, I think, with my grandpa a while ago. And it's just been in the barn for a while, so I'm gonna clean it up so it looks nice. Got the chair all cleaned up, so it is ready to go into the boys' room. It looks so much better. Okay, so this is the next thing that I'm doing for the boys' room. My grandpa gave us this little like bear and tree scene. It's made out of metal, and it was in our living room at our old house, but then we had it kept in the barn while we were building this house and we were living in the camper, so it got a little bit rusty. So I'm gonna re-spray paint it black so it looks nice and clean, and then we'll put it in the boys' room. The bear scene looks much better. The next thing I'm gonna spray paint is this old metal stool. I don't even remember where I got these from, but I've got a couple of them, and I use one in my sewing room. Well, I did at least at the old house. So I'm gonna spray paint this black, and then I'll cut a circle piece of foam to put on top, and then I'm gonna cover that with some buffalo plaid fabric, and this will be the stool that they will use at the little desk that we're gonna build in the corner of their room. Okay, there it is. I'm exhausted though, so I'll do the top tomorrow. Got my fabric and foam ready, and I bought a hot glue gun, so now I'm going to finish the top of this chair. And it's done. My camera shut off, so it didn't record me finishing the project, but it turned out really cute. And the kids are being crazy in the basement, running around with this broom. But the chair looks great. Up next on the boys' room is this. We had this in our barn, and it just looks old and raggedy. So I'm gonna leave the antlers dirty because I like that natural look, but I am going to clean this guy up right here, and I'll tape all the antlers off so I don't spray, and then I'm gonna spray paint this part black. James did that to one of our deer heads a few years ago, and I really like how it turned out, so I thought I would do it to this one as well, and then we'll be able to put that in the boys' room and it'll kind of match their decor. The prep work part is done. That took a lot longer than anticipated, but I got everything taped off and all the antlers covered. Now I'm gonna spray paint it. It was really easy to spray paint. It only took like 2 minutes to spray paint, but it took like 30 minutes to prep the thing and wrap it. But it looks nice. So we're gonna let it dry, and then in about an hour or so, we'll come back out and check on it and touch up any spots that need fixing. There it is. I love how it turned out. Very simple, but it looks excellent. It really makes the antlers stand out. Today I'm finally doing the dresser remodel. This is a dresser that I got from my mother-in-law's house. I honestly don't know how old this thing is, but I have a feeling it's pretty old. So I'm gonna take all the drawers out. I'm gonna paint the whole dresser white, and then every drawer is gonna be covered in that buffalo plaid fabric. I bought this spray adhesive to spray on the drawers to attach the fabric, and then I bought the primer to prime it, and then I'm gonna paint it all white. Now I'm also going to save all the handles. I'm gonna take all those off and spray paint them all black and then put them back on when it's finished. I got it prepped and ready to go. All the drawers are out. The boys are having too much fun. But all the drawers are out, and we're gonna prime it. Done. Now we just wait for it to dry. One thing I've learned about priming finished wood is that you don't have to actually cover it completely solid white like you do with normal spray paint if you're spray painting something. Just getting everything covered is good, so this is plenty. First coat is finished. So far so good. I might do the second coat with a roller instead of a brush so it doesn't have brush marks, but I don't know, I haven't made up my mind yet. Now I'm going to spray paint all of the handles. Normally I use a flat spray paint because if it's just a decoration that's going to be on the wall, it doesn't matter because you're not going to touch it. But flat really shows fingerprints, so since this is something we're going to touch a lot, I am using the satin spray paint. That way it doesn't show any fingerprints. First coat is on. You can barely see them, but it's on there. So then I just have to actually move the little handle and flip it over and then put the second coat on. I just got the fabric cut. So there are 4 big drawers and 1 small one. And this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take all the pieces inside and iron them. It's windy out here. So I'll take them all inside and iron them so they're perfect, but then I'm going to put them on here. I'll spray all the wood part with the spray adhesive and then press this down nice and firm and then fold it under on each end and attach it as well. So I've got the first one done. It's hard to get the lines perfect because even the fabric isn't perfectly square, but I really like how it turned out. It is too windy out here, and honestly it's getting too cold. It's hard to put the fabric on straight, so I'm going to take this project to the basement. Just got them all done. There's one outside on the dresser that I finished first, and then here's the other 4. Goodness, James is out of town this weekend hunting, so I just carried this all up here by myself, but I did it. So anyway, I just need to put the shelves into the dresser. Now I'm going to put all of the little handles back in. So I've got my tiny little scissors to cut the fabric for all the little holes, and then I'll screw them all back in. Okay, ignore the screaming because the boys are playing there. But I got the rest of the handles in. Looks really nice. I like it. Here's what they look like up close. This is what I'm doing tonight. I have this that I want to hang in the boys' room to hang their coats on by the door. But it's not the right color red. So I bought this paint from Lowe's. Just a sample of it. It is fabulous red, to make it match the decor a little better. And that's the finished product of the board. This is what their little coats are going to hang on, and I spray painted those black just so it would kind of match the theme. I'm not sure where I'm going to hang it in the room yet, but I like how it turned out. Next, I have this blue folding table. I'm going to spray paint the legs black, similar to how I did the stool for their room, and then the top of this is going to have buffalo plaid fabric on it. The legs are spray painted. Now I'm just gonna wait for it to dry, and then I'll put the fabric on the top. The finished table turned out adorable. And my grandpa handmade these chairs for both of our boys. He's extremely talented. He's a woodworker. He can make literally anything. So he made those with some trees that he cut down at my other grandparents' house out of sassafras. Today I am making a valance for the boys' room. I have got my seam ironed in, so now I've got my sewing machine threaded and ready to go. Just finished sewing that in. The whole line is done, so the front looks like this. And I used black thread so it would kind of blend in. Got the valance finished and put above the window. The boys' room is officially finished. It's got all the decorations up. We got the bunk beds over there. We hung up that lantern, the tree. We've got the curtains and everything. Over here's where the dresser is. And there's lots of decorations. There's that chair that I cleaned. Lots of decorations. Some of the stuff we already had. Some of the stuff I bought at Hobby Lobby or on vacation. This is something that was James when he was little. Someone painted that bear on that hide. Back behind the door is where I hung the little coat hanger. My best friend Brooke got the boys these 2 buffalo plaid coats. So they got their little hooks where they can hang them up. That turned out really cute. And then over here, we still need to build some type of storage and desk there, but we'll do that later on. But that is that side of the room. And then that is where their table is. And some more decorations over here. It's hard to get the lighting right because it's late at night. But that's some of the decorations that I redid. And then there's that deer skull. The deer skull turned out great. I love it. It is simple, but it's kind of like a little boy's dream. And for the people that have questions about that tree, I actually made a quick little DIY video on how to paint that, so I'll put the link in the description below.